Hello, it is another great, I was going to say nearly brush off. It's a great British brush off. This is Banded Badgers. There's Steve. Then we got Craig in the middle. How you doing, Craig?
Doing
And
well, and
on the,
yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. As we said, it's a hot week here in the UK.
It is a hot week.
Just
You
had
probably wouldn't
thunderstorm.
like it, or you'd probably just be too hot for you anyway. I don't know, but you might be used to the heat. Who knows? And over there, for the first, is it the first time? No, he's on a Christmas. Is Dibs? How you doing, Dibs?
Yeah, I was on at Christmas. I had my little Santa hat on and everything. I tried growing my beard out, but it made me look even fatter than I am, so I didn't.
So we got some bits and pieces going on. I will officially say Pinch Punch first day of the month. It is the 1st of May, which is we are now countdown.
We're now counting down.
There you go, English. Counted down to the UK Games Expo.
4 weeks tomorrow.
Yeah, it's wicked. Well, for you,
Technically 4 weeks. Yes, well, 4 weeks today for us, isn't it?
yeah.
But you're going as
today for
you're
us
going as
because
press.
yes, we're going as press.
I
Or
thought we was
step.
official custard cream suppliers. Wasn't that what you sold us
Yeah.
yesterday?
That was the other day when we were talking to Richard Denning. Yeah, lovely guy. So one of the organisers of the convention itself, actually. But yeah, we are now officially the custard cream suppliers of UK Games Expo. So I hope the mega pack goes around.
Yeah, I hope you bring enough.
If 20,000 people turn up on Saturday, we might have to run to Asda's at some point.
We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But anyway, if you are going, for those of you joining us live, or for those of you catching up on YouTube, let us know in the comments below if you're coming to UK Games Expo. There's no point looking out for Craig because he won't be there. He's in the States. Steve might not be there because he might still be in a box. Dibs will probably be sitting on a stool somewhere.
Usually.
Painting. Yeah, usually. And I'll be having a cup of tea and a custard cream in the bar. So there you go. Find us there. Now, as usual, we're going to put on some tunes. But before we do, we're here just to chit chat. We're going to take some questions if you have any. We're just going to ramble on about Games Expo and conventions in general. But first off, what is everybody painting? Steve,
who are you starting with?
I am trying to find where I left the camera.
Right, Craig, what are you painting?
I'm going to be doing a little bit of base work, and I'm going to be assembling some MCP for an upcoming project.
Nice, cool. All right, Steve, what is that? That's
the head of one of the Orc Boys Ghostbusters models. So that's the head.
I've painted them.
Cool.
There is.
And where did you get those from?
I got them from Warrior Prince 3D.
Same here.
Wow.
They're very detailed.
Look
at that cloth. And
so if he's on social media, Steve, I'd be able to send you a picture of what I did with mine.
Yeah, if only I was.
Steve's not allowed. You know he's limited. He's on solar power. We're going to go on we should do game room tours or paint room tours with Dibs. There you go.
There you go. Can you see them?
I
can see Wolverine. Yeah. I like Wolverine.
Yeah.
You got Slimer. You got you got is that an Assassin's Creed at the top there?
Yeah, an unofficial Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Well, that one is obviously Kenway, and that one's whatever he's called from Valhalla, but that's an unofficial one.
Looking good, Dibs. Well done.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very good. Right.
That's for Steve's benefit. You lot weren't supposed to look. If you want to see what I've done, go on my Instagram page. Sorry, I took up your time there, Steve.
That's all right.
Go, Steve. Push buttons.
What buttons would
Is
you
he
like
pushing-
me to push, David?
Oh my god.
I'm
The cut
pushing.
the
I'm
screen
pushing.
button,
I'm
obviously.
pushing.
What buttons?
There you go. There
you
you
go.
go. What the hell are they?
These. So I was sent some Nothics
Oh,
Okay.
because someone heard me say on one of the streams I don't have Nothics, or I can't find Nothics. These are unofficial Nothics. But
What
yeah,
is
no,
a
I've got some
Nothic?
Nothics. Nothic is it has a bit of a varied history, but basically, if wizards that go a bit demented and don't turn into liches because they haven't prepped properly, they turn into Nothics, and they have this giant eyeball with these bony protrusions and very big claws, and they dribble a lot. So I'm going to try and check those out.
Do you remember the Labyrinth film where they had the fireys throwing their heads around and everything?
Yes.
It looks like somebody shaved one of them.
Yeah, kind of, but bigger. Right, let's do this. It's the sounds, familiar sounds of the Everglade. But on your marks, get set, paint, because Dib's already started ages ago.
I started 12 hours ago.
Right, so this year, UK Games Expo, what are we hoping? What is like the top 3 things we want to buy? Games Expo? What do we
That we want to buy.
play, buy, meet?
Well, buy
What's
is coffee,
Right, top 3 things: coffee,
Coffee.
custard creams.
coffee. I was
Are you
saying to
saying that
Richard
Games
earlier,
Expo,
though,
the best place to get coffee is Games Expo?
I found last year out in the courtyard was a little trolley thing. And that was the best mocker out of the entire event that I had. But they didn't have any custard creams.
I mean, I was getting stopped by people asking me for custard creams, which, on one hand, that was the plan, but what? I'm gonna.
That's not the worst thing to be stopped for, is it?
Oh, exactly. I'm gonna give this one a go. Right. I think most of this is just the same color, really. What is this?
Did everybody else say what they were painting, or did I interrupt everybody?
You interrupted anyway, so we moved on. That's why we only
Well,
get
I
you
know
back
that
in.
Craig doesn't talk
UK
much.
Games
Steve
Expo.
doesn't talk much.
Yeah, you're welcome to talk. Otherwise, I'd be on my own.
Well, normally we rely on Ian for that kind of thing, don't we?
Ian is super lovely. He's our what we call a fan favorite. But he's doing his own.
He can make
own
a
stream
conversation out of anything and get everybody talking about something without even trying, which I
Yep.
think helps streams a lot. Doesn't it, Craig?
it does. It does a lot. That is true. I get lost in the painting zone and I forget to talk. It's not that I don't have anything to say.
Especially if we start mentioning Star Wars.
Well, yeah.
I finished Andor season 1, and I've also watched Ahsoka as well, so I'm right up to date, really.
Oh, okay.
I'm not watched either of them.
You're ready to start into season 2 then on Andor.
I am.
It's just got to watch Star Wars now.
How do I want
Dave,
to?
aren't you old enough to have seen it when it first came out in the cinema?
No.
No. I saw Empire Strikes Back at the cinema, but Star Wars was always the Christmas film.
Yeah, every Christmas it was on.
I saw it at the cinema. I'm old.
Well, actually, everybody's supposed to be watching it on Monday, aren't they?
Yeah, the original, the untouched.
May the 4th.
Yeah, when's that gonna? The screening of that at the British Film Festival, or
Yep. Yeah. We didn't get a press pass, so we're not going.
they must have lost it in the mail. Okay.
You only pretend to interview people for these press passes, don't you?
Yeah. I'll take a we do this like this, Dibs. I'll take a photo of you in the Hilton. And that's it. If I just stand there with a piece of black plastic and go, "Hi, yeah, you all right? Custard cream," and then I move on. People think they've done a really good job there. Look, person they interviewed smiling. They got custard cream and everything.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to give that a try next year.
That simple. We'll interview you on the day, Dibs.
On the day.
You just got to remind me not to swear.
Okay. Well, hold on. These are both the same color. Why is that?
Steve, what colour skin are you doing for your Ghostbuster orcs?
I'm doing green. I don't normally
Sticking
do
with-
orcs green, but I'm doing it green this time.
Who are you going to call, Steve?
Ghostbusters. I'm not attempting to do the song. I noticed you did
Dibs knows it.
sort of a lilac colour, didn't you? On yours,
Who are you talking to, Steve?
Yeah.
Dibs.
Yeah, it was a complete and utter accident. I was originally going for base colours, and I think I based it in a burgundy, and then went with Screamer Pink from Citadel,
Right.
and absolutely loved it. So I stuck with that, but went too light on the next pink, so I went over it in lilac, and it just worked.
Yeah.
I think-
They look good. They look good.
Thank you. Do you want to buy them?
Save you having to paint them.
I got so much to paint. It's untrue.
Doing kind of a commission for a friend of mine of all these old metal 1980s and 1990s Warhammer stuff,
Right.
and it's all good when you're used to painting something in a certain way, but then you're doing it the way that a customer wants it.
Yeah.
It's actually exhausting,
Yeah, I bet.
especially when you go back and look through. Because I've researched what the models were, so I knew this type of style to do them in, and the color schemes they did back then was absolutely insane. So I've gone off that and done my own stuff instead. I'm hoping to earn some pennies to spend at the expo.
How many more you got to do for them?
I'm in the process of doing 10 ogres, and I've nearly finished a giant kind of ogre thing. But I
Is
did
it different painting on metal rather than plastic?
Yeah, I highly recommend, if anybody asks you to paint the metal model for them, give them a swift headbutt and walk away. It is a swine. The slightest brush of your finger or anything on any of the surface, it just wipes the paint away all the way back to the metal, including the primer.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's mental. I've gone to using car primer for these, and that's the
Really?
strongest I've found, but even that does it.
Car primer, blimey.
Yep.
Is this the lead minis or a different type of metal?
I think they were pewter, weren't they?
Yeah, they were computer based.
If it was lead, I'd chew on a couple.
Yeah. That's what we used to do them, like suck on them like batteries.
For those of you that have seen my Instagram page, just see a couple of the ones that I've already done. But don't know if I can. It's awkward with lighting and stuff. No, can't get it to show you. Lighting's too awkward in here.
How is your nerd Harler ceiling growing? You covered it.
Can you see that?
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Which one's
Yeah.
that light? That one.
Everyone's got badges.
Everyone else has got a little sticker, and you've got an A5 sheet of paper or sheet of card.
Yep. I don't skimp.
Yeah. Can't forget band of badges.
I was gonna say I don't have one of those yet.
Not yet, Craig. I'll bring some over when I see you.
Actually, yours is almost as big, Craig.
Yeah. I got to work out some stuff to get made up to send back when you guys leave.
No, we're your shipping mules, are we?
Oh no, I was just gonna send you guys back with some stuff. I was gonna get some merch made up.
Oh yeah, cool. We can do all that.
Can you see this, Craig?
Oh, nice.
Oh yes.
Well, everybody knows the size of a Citadel paint pot.
Hold on. Let me make you big. There you go. Vump. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's Richard's idea of sending me a mini to paint up.
He's got a size issue.
He gets excited about printing models in a larger scale. Then they sit on his shelf for ages and he ends up sending them to me. Which I've got
Did you see that?
a fan off here that stands about 40 centimetres tall if his head was put on.
Ooh. Did you see someone did a life-size Teenage Turtle, Michelangelo?
The one kneeling
From,
down with all the weapons
Ronin.
in front of him.
Yeah, from Ronin.
I was actually waiting for him to stand up. Oh, I forgot what colour.
All right, so let that dry.
So have you got interviews lined up for the expo then, Dave?
Yeah, we are working with them at the moment. So this week, they start announcing more guests, more events. We'll be covering the Game Awards as well. That's the Thursday afternoon, Thursday night.
So before we all get there.
So we'll be going for that. Yep, I'm gonna buy all the cool stuff before it sells out.
Yeah, we got to try and get the Shatterpoint.
I'm no Jedi.
Yep.
Oh, the convention special. Yeah.
Convention special. We got to get that.
Oh yeah.
We got to get that. That'll be an early up one morning to make sure we're in the queue.
Yeah. If we do that, we can paint that as a special.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've got Will and Ross from Atomic Mass Games are coming over. So we're
Oh,
interviewing
good.
them. We've got Greg from Turbo Dork. He's coming over.
Greg's coming on his own, though, isn't he? No Meredith this year.
No Meredith
Yep.
this year. Steve Jackson will be there. So he's still coming. But yeah, no Meredith this year.
I remember when he brought Steve Jackson over to us last year. I had my daughter's boyfriend with us, and he almost wet himself. He really wanted to get his autograph, but just sat there. He couldn't even say hello. He just sat there at the edge of the table.
I've got
He grew up playing the Munchkin
Munchkin
games with his dad.
Yep. It's one of my favorite games.
Well, last year for me was quite a shopping expedition. It was my first time meeting in person with Richard, so that was quite a big thing for me.
Yeah.
And then it was a shopping expedition. Whereas this year, because I've got to know a lot more people, I'm looking forward to actually meeting all you. Well, I say all you guys. It's just you and Steve that's on here, but meeting all the people that I've been speaking to over the last year on here, nice to be up in person.
Yep, I agree. It's just trying to make an arrangement or something. Say, because the Hilton Bar is after the day is when everyone gets a chance to finish work and get together. But
it was rammed last year, though, wasn't it? Especially on the Saturday.
Well, I mean, if there's we set something aside and say, right, we're going to be here at this time. We get some of the UK painters together, whether it's a different location or one of their rooms, and we meet there.
Well, there's quite a few people that have asked about doing meetups and things, but whereas you guys are predominantly D&D people, I've also got a crowd of the Warhammer people.
Yep.
And that's another reason that I set up that chat group, was try to get both sides to merge rather than having to go from one to the other.
Oh, I'm up for that. I mean, again, it's the same. People who are a similar crowd. There's the painting in the middle. Painting becomes a bit of a bridge.
Yep.
That's how I see it, because I am only a painter. I don't play any of the games. So I paint from both sides.
For this year?
Yes. And it's funny because that's what I was getting to about the shopping trip, is there's only one thing that I'm intending to buy this year. Last year I bought a few sets. I went to Comic-Con in Liverpool with Step and Richard back in November. Bought more sets. I've bought other sets since. But I do not own a set of dice for myself.
Oh. Well, I can recommend Rune Fable.
I don't believe I know them ones.
They were so UK Games Expo last year in the Hilton Bar, and there was a very big queue for the bar. We were standing with him, Mr. Rune Fable, in that queue. We interviewed him, I think, the year before, maybe.
Yeah, it was the year before.
And he makes the most gorgeous dice. So
makes the most gorgeous what?
Dice.
Right, it sounded like you said dykes.
No.
He's that good. He turned them gay.
Yeah, if you want to try it, you can try it.
What, turn someone gay?
You can always try. Well, again, the DM's rule. You can always try.
What if I wink at Steve?
You got to pay for Steve. I mean,
I'm out then.
He's high end, is Steve.
Lost a bit of paper. So who is that? Rune Fable, RUNE.
Yeah. Is it
Fable is in the game.
Nice, I'm sure it is, Steve.
Yeah, it's Room Fable. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Go check him
when
out
he
on
was at
Insta.
Dragon Meet last year, he had crafted himself a really good-looking DM shield. It was like a wood and
Yeah.
resin mix
Oh,
like of colours as well, and it really, really, set his stall apart from everyone else's. Really,
It was gorgeous. Yeah, I want
Yeah.
one.
Trying to think of the dice people we met last year. Dice shop is everywhere, and I think they're overpriced.
What about Ian? Have you used him for a set of dice?
I can't afford his dice.
Well, there are usually lots and lots of dice creators.
He actually did give my daughter a set. He came up, I think it was sometime last year, because Ian is from Nottingham.
Yeah.
So he came up to see his family, and he come to see me, and he bought a set of dice for my daughter,
Cool.
which she refuses to let anybody use them.
That's the right way for dice. You don't let anyone curse them.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's more the fact that she can't afford to replace them on a student budget.
No matter
Ian's
what, you
dice are
can't have.
beautiful. So if anybody's watching and they don't know Dragonborn Industries, check out his dice. He does some fantastic ones.
Yep. I've got his the gelatinous cubey kind of ones.
you've got his chunk as well, haven't you?
The chonk. Yeah, I still use it. It's in my DM's bag. I still use that to terrify players, which is nice.
Well, that's what Steve was for.
He's there to lure the players into my traps.
And your tech advisor.
Usually,
Driver normally.
he's like I'm Arthur Daly. He's my minder.
I am Terry Mc. Only you drank large VATs.
Yeah.
I know you guys are fans of Turbo Dork, but I don't know if you saw them last year. I have posted a few times about them since, but when you're there, check out Dark Star Hobbies.
What kind of paint
metallic? They're metallics, and they are phenomenal.
Who did I see them with at Adepticon? I think they were there with Duncan Rhodes at Adepticon.
They're normally close by him. But I bought the full set last year because I'd already bought a tester set of the Dark Star Hobbies. They call it the Molten Metals. And I did put to the test that they say that if you leave the paint to cure for 24 hours, you can then buff it and polish it like true metal. And it does work.
Wow.
So they don't do the turbo shift or anything like Turbo Dork do. But for true metals, they are absolutely phenomenal. I bought the full set last year. I think it's 40 paints, and it come in a nice zip-up display case, which was really nice on its own. So when I got home, my wife saw it, tipped out my paints, and took the case for her makeup.
Well, you both got something. Yeah, it started when I get home, and Steve knows this. When I get home from Expo, my boy just rummages through all the bags, all the stuff, and starts taking what he thinks is his. I'm like, wait,
How old is he?
he's 10.
So everything's his.
Yeah, that's what he thinks. That's what he thinks. Although I have now started getting him into mini painting. Again, thanks to Richard, Warrior Prince, who I got some of his Pokemon 3D cards, Pokemon card things, and some Pokemon large scale prints.
Are you teaching him to paint on the 3D cards? Because they are a swine to paint.
Yeah. No, he's painted. He's got some oversized figures. He wants me to paint the cards.
Yeah, I was going to say the cards aren't for a beginner.
Yeah. I'm a beginner.
You've been a beginner for 10 years, haven't
I don't know, probably about.
Debs, just let him go.
Do we know how long, Steve?
Well, at least 4 years. I've been pushing 5 now.
There you go.
See?
Give a little shout out to Warrior Prince 3D. Check him out on Instagram and Etsy.
Yep.
There's a little Pokemon. I don't know if anybody knows what kind of Pokemon this is, but I believe he's quite known.
Oh, I know that one. That's the one we got. With the grass strands come out as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to get more Dibs.
No. I think my eldest go is I did 3 of the cards for her, the ghastly ones. I can't remember what the other 2 are called. But now she wants a load more. And she was head of Pokemon Society at UCL.
Yeah.
So Rich is meant to be sending her a load of posts so that he can promote them for him. But he keeps forgetting. If you're listening, Richard, send them through to Finn. One of the things that I wondered about from last year's expo is I didn't realise till after is that there were events and talks and things going on. Which not only was it my first time at the expo last year, but it's my first con of any sort ever.
Yeah.
So I was kind of a bit flabbergasted with everything.
There is a lot going on. You do really have, like, one day is hard to do everything. I mean, you can spend one day just shopping, but the bit that does turn me off is the fact that we call them, like over here, we call them lectures. So no one is actually going to sign up. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go to that 2-hour lecture on something. But if they turned it, if they called it something interesting, like a workshop, or bring them by,
or even just Q&A.
Yeah, ties into what we do.
So is there painting tutorials or classes, workshops that you can do, or?
It's a bit of a mix. So like Citadel Paints will be there again this year, and they have a painting area on the main shopping floor where you can sit down, grab a mini, you can paint it, you can keep it. The kind of stuff you've seen before, but it is so packed and rammed and busy. It is hard to do. Right. But
you have to pay for any of the things like that then?
No, you just sit down and paint.
No, not just for them, for any of the talks, meet and greets or anything. Is there an additional charge for any of them?
It depends. You have to go onto the website and check the details, because there'll be people, like if I wanted to run a Q&A, if I wanted to run a come and meet the badgers for a half an hour, 45-minute slot, if I organise, then I could do that, and it wouldn't cost a penny. But some people might go, you know what, we're too big, we'll charge.
Yeah. When we went to the Comic-Con in Liverpool, most of the Q&As and things in the forum were free, but there were a couple of certain actors that you had to pay to get in. And even though all the other people in their group were doing it for free, if this certain person was on the stage with them, you had to pay to get in.
Yeah.
And he's not even one of the main characters from Harry Potter. He's one of their dads.
Yep.
Is there anything that you know about that's going on that you would recommend for people to go and see?
Well, again, a lot of it hasn't been announced yet. If you look at the stuff that's listed now, this starting next week, I think it's really going to be. We're going to get more announcements coming out, special guests, the tournaments, special co-op stuff. Like we did Dragonbane last year, which was fantastic. In the evening, we did
And lost.
Highlander. Yeah, but we always lose. It's the taking part that counts, Dibs.
I would join your team, but I wouldn't even know
come along, buy your
what to do.
dice. Come along. And we've got.
I say I haven't got a set of dice. I actually do have a cheap set that I got from Temu.
Do they roll
And
well?
they've got floating skulls inside them.
Oh,
So I'll see what I can get.
yep. Do it.
Is
14.
Is Chessex going to be there?
You don't. I don't know. I've seen people selling Chessex stuff. I don't remember seeing Chessex themselves. I like Chessex. Chessex has been around for donkey's years, and I love their stuff. In fact, I got one. I still got one of their mats that I use. It's behind me.
One of their dry erase mats.
Yeah, the super large one, the extra large, because it's awesome.
Yep. Well, when you go to Gen Con, Chessex will have at least 6 booths.
Really?
Yes, they cover almost every entrance exit type where the doors are. There's usually a Chessex booth.
That was Wayland Games.
Yeah. So rather than having one booth, they're actually spread out.
Yeah,
For
and they
those of us
always
that don't know,
the same thing.
who are Chessex?
They're a dice manufacturer.
Yeah.
And other hobby-related tools. They sell grid maps. Or grid maps of a better lack for a better word.
Yeah. They're one of the founding companies. They've been around forever. They're probably even older than you, Dibs, if that's possible.
No.
You can.
I always know as Cabin Boy.
You can buy. They'll usually have a big open vat of dice, and you can buy dice by the pitcher, full like a beer pitcher.
Yep.
I don't need that many.
You might do once the hobby gets you.
Nah. One of the problems that I've got is I struggle to retain verbal information. So if somebody tries to teach me something verbally, I can't do it. And then the other side of it is I can't be bothered to read a book. I can't concentrate on something for that long. I'd like to put it down to my ADHD or anything, but it's not. My ADHD is why I paint 20 models at the same time. But I will try to do something this year. Move my camera just like that a minute.
And also, not there's a lot of unorganized games going on as well. So you can join not just the games in the Hilton, which are ticketed and everything else, but you can go into the game area, the public gaming area, and if you see something you like the look of, just ask them if you can join. Or you got the demo game area.
I remember last year we went to see Chris on Exit 23, and
Yep.
he was showing off his Relic Blade game. And this girl come up and asked for a demonstration. So I was with Jake, my daughter's boyfriend, and he said he'll play it with her. And he won the game on his first throw of dice.
Dave, are you
Which I
going to
don't
do
know.
any D&D games at Gen Con? You going to run anything out of the hotel?
Not out of the hotel, because I think we'll be too far away from the action. But I was talking to Josh McGuire the other day, and he said the same thing, that we should set up something in Indiana, that we do a Band of Badgers D&D night.
I'm going to be there Thursday and Friday night. I'm going to head back to Ohio Saturday. So I've decided to stay for 2 nights.
That'd be cool. Well, I'm going to be there from the Monday, so I'm staying for 7 nights. Well, 7 days.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Gen Con, so Indianapolis.
I've heard of it.
Erie, Indiana.
I know about Indiana. I'm not about Gen Con. I'm just trying to remember
Gen Con
why
is
I've heard of it.
probably the biggest convention on the planet.
Yeah.
At the moment.
I think it might be because of Morgan from Heroes of Evermore. I think he's been talking about it recently.
Is he? Do you know if he's going?
I think he is. I can ask if you want.
Yeah, yeah, let him know, because it'd be good to again someone to meet in person.
Morgan
be the one chance to meet him. So
yeah, he's an absolute darling of a bloke.
Yeah,
and he's very, very passionate about the community.
Yeah.
But him and somebody else, is it Mystic Cauldron? They set up their own little expo last year and it did really well.
That's cool.
It's a cool bloke. It's definitely one for you to get in touch with, mate. Just tell him I sent you.
Well, if you set up the introduction.
I don't know if I actually like you that much, though, Dave.
I can't help that, Dibs.
Well,
I told you. What I can do.
You keep saying about all these custard creams, but I've not had one yet.
Yeah, well,
I prefer bourbons.
I bet you do, you bad boy.
Yeah, I'll get hold of Morgan. What day is it?
Thursday.
Thank you. I'll get hold of him in the morning.
Yep.
I'll say I can't remember whereabouts in the States he is. So I can't tell you what time it'd be, but normally he does a Saturday morning coffee chat.
Yeah, I know. I've seen his stuff, Heroes of Evermore. I've listened in a few times to his coffee chats.
Normally his daughter interrupts and he ends up having to come off early.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a really nice bloke. I think one of the other ones that he deals with, I think he goes by the Forever DM.
Yeah, I know that.
He might be one for you as well. But with Morgan, because he's quite in with that the community where he is.
Yeah.
He'll be able to introduce you further along into that side of things.
Yeah.
I first came into contact with him through winning a giveaway that he wasn't supposed to have done to the outside of the US, but because I won it, he honoured it. And
good.
I can't remember what other stuff come with it, but with it, he sent me one of the booklets from Gary Con. And there's a load of autographs and everything in it.
Oh, nice.
I can't remember if Gary Gygax is one of the ones that signed it. But the main one that I wanted was Todd Stashwick, and he didn't sign it. So he said he'll try again this year.
Yeah, Gary Con this year was the way they had it set up was the weekend before Adepticon. So a lot of people I had talked to at Adepticon had basically hung out in Lake Geneva, Milwaukee area for the week. They did Gary Con the first weekend, Adepticon the second. So,
Have you been then?
I have not been to Gary Con. It is definitely on my list. So I keep looking at it every year, and it's just like Wisconsin in March doesn't sound like a lot of fun. I don't really
Would you
want to
please
drive
elaborate?
there. It's cold. Freaking cold. I don't want to drive.
Put an extra pair of socks on.
Don't want to drive through Chicago in the middle of winter if I don't have to. And there's no real direct flights for me to try to take a flight over. Like I looked to fly to Milwaukee for Adepticon this year, and I live in the middle eastern half of the United States in Ohio, and it's like, okay, they want to fly me to the East Coast, then to Milwaukee, which is west of me, or they want to fly me to Florida, down to Orlando, to Disneyland, then to Milwaukee. And by the time it was all said and done, looking at layovers and everything else, I could drive it and spend about an extra 2 hours in the car.
I'd say it sounds like a lot of unnecessary mileage.
Yeah, so I just.
But I must say, Craig, if you're going to get on a plane, it should be to the UK.
Yeah, at least I can get a direct flight. Well, after I get to the East Coast.
Where you come in the UK is a different matter, but
I got to hit somewhere central. That way it's easy.
Well, that would be me.
You're central?
Well, yeah, I'm in the Midlands.
He's central UK. If you picture the UK shape in your head, you've got Gatwick South, which is South London. You've got Heathrow, which is North London. The rest of the country we don't really bother with. They're Scotland. They're fun.
Well, if you're the Warhammer person, you would come to me.
You'd come to Nottingham, yes. They're Mecca.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots. Well, I met up with a load of people there back in March. Dasmore, Wargaming, and a few of the others. And we did notice that when we was looking around the shop, that it's cheaper to buy it online than it is to buy it in their own actual shop.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
And when I say online, I don't just mean like Amazon or anything like that, or any of the big retailers. I mean from their own website.
From their own shop.
Does not surprise me in the least little bit.
Yeah, if you come to UK, come to me, and then you can travel everywhere from here. And what what Dave would consider being too far to travel is like you going to your next door neighbour.
I nearly messaged Craig the other day because last week, for 2 consecutive days, I drove for more than 3 hours without a nap.
What you drove?
I drove, yeah. Steve wasn't around, so I had to drive myself.
I'll drive you around, mate.
Cool.
I'd avoid you insurance, but I'll drive you around. I actually drove better whilst having seizures than I did when I wasn't.
Yeah, so from my house to Indianapolis to Gen Con is about 2.5, 3 hour drive. So
Okay.
So not bad.
That's like from driving from me to the beach. Which I'm not going to Skegness again because I've been there twice in the last 6 months and had car crashes in both of them.
Yeah.
Last week, somebody in a van in the lane on the left decided they wanted to be in our lane, didn't care that we was there and just drove straight into us.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah, it's not quite what I said.
Did they stop?
They did. Admitted full fault within 15 minutes. Stephen was getting a phone call from their insurance.
That seems to be a rising issue around here seems like lately, is that people hitching and just keep right on going.
I think if we were in one of the other roads, it might have been a similar case, but because we're right in the centre of a highly populated coastal town, they couldn't really get away with it. Well, speaking of which, David, if you wanted to come up this way, he has 2 caravans on a site in Chapel St Leonard's.
We will bear that in mind because we were talking about this came up a month or so ago about coming up to Nottingham because Steamforge Games are up there as well as a number of other companies, much smaller.
Yeah, Mantic Games.
Yeah, Mantic.
They're down the road from me in Bulwell. I went there, I think that was back in March as well.
Yeah, we were talking about doing a series of interviews with UK UK makers, creators, that kind of thing. But come up for a week, book everyone in.
Yeah, there's quite a few up here. Which normally I could reel a load off here, but because now I'm trying to think of them, I can't remember them. Mantic Games is quite a weird one because you go through a residential estate and then there's a small industrial estate within that residential estate and they're in there in a warehouse.
Oh.
But once you walk through the doors, it's like proper nerddom.
Isn't that the same as Warhammer? Warhammer's a big warehouse, but they do tours. Or is that just a way to get your money?
They don't do tours. They have a massive exhibition thing. If you go in there just to play the games, to go in the shop, to go in Bugman's Bar and that, you don't have to pay to get in. But you have to pay to go around the exhibit. But every time that I've been in there, I've never been asked for my ticket. which is just a piece of card. I think it's $7.50 just to walk around the exhibit. But if you want to walk around the room, a couple of rooms in that one, in that case, it's full of models, just come to mine, you can come in for free.
We'll come down the shed with custard creams.
I might actually have some custard creams as well. How's everyone getting on with their painting?
I'm trying to like get into batch painting. That's my new kind of thing. Reusing the same colors and blah blah blah. I'm getting better, getting quicker.
There is logic to it, which, like you've just said, if you've got one pot of colour out, you might as well do a few of them while it's on your brush. But it can also be quite overwhelming and take the joy out of what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm trying to do. I've done two different kind of techniques. I've done one color on one and another color on another, just to see how it's taken.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, yeah, I don't know. Might have to tidy up some of them. It's a bit annoying as well. We've been painting Star Wars for so long, and I'm used to the larger size mini, which I quite like. And these are slightly smaller than 28.
I have found that the smaller the mini, the longer it takes to paint. But I've got 11 on the desk in front of me now, 10 of the smaller ones, and then that giant one. And although, apart from not shutting up, I haven't stopped painting, but it doesn't look like I've done anything.
Yeah, that becomes my problem when I'm batch painting. Is like I feel like I'm not getting anywhere, and the next thing you know, okay, I'll just do a little bit more on this one, and I never end up putting it back down till it's done.
Yeah, I think that's what I might start doing with these ones now I've got so far. But for the likes of you guys, because you've got a set amount of hobby time to do this, you want to be having the fun while you're doing it, so you don't want to be taking on too much in one hit. Whereas for me, this is all day, every day.
Yeah. What are your other than Grogu? What's your next big project? Oversized mini. What do you call them? Statues?
I don't know. I've got Pyramid Head sat next to me from Silent Hill, and I've got an idea in my head of what I'm doing with him. But
are you going to go classic, or are you going to go make up what you want?
No, with things like this, I try to stick close to what they're meant to be.
Yeah. Has he got the sword?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
Well, the sword.
Hold on. Let's get a...
You think that's a giant?
Yeah.
And that's the sword without the handle. He's a bit of a beastie. But that's another one from Warrior Prince 3D.
Yeah. Rich is a lovely guy.
But I've also got a load of X-Men to do.
I've still got I've got a Spider-Man somewhere that I bought from him ages ago. Still one of the first. Oh, I still need to do that as well. One of the first things I bought was the Spider-Man.
Can you see Thanos?
Yeah, let's make him big. Here we go.
Oh.
And it's an pose as well.
Yep.
And that's hang on, let me see if I can get his arm up. He has his upper arm with his double blade on that goes like that.
Do you glue it in, or do you use magnets?
Well, Richard magnetized this one in places, but even with that arm, It's too
Yep.
heavy, even for the magnets.
Oh wow.
So, but I will be gluing it into place when it's painted.
Yep.
You say you got a Spider-Man?
I've got a Miles Morales. Yeah, with the brick wall.
Spider-Man are a pain in the backside to paint because of the webbing.
Yeah.
I've got. I've painted a few Spider-Man because it's my daughter's favourite character other than Wolverine.
Yeah.
I don't know where Peter's head is at the minute.
That's nice.
Well, that's a good one.
Well, that's another one
What
from
is the base
Warrior
he's
Prince.
standing on?
The base.
Yeah. What is
It's
that? Just a
It's
base,
not
or is
anything
it
in particular, but if I
right?
hold it properly, when you put it on and they're glued into place, they turn and the base stays as it is.
Oh, that's nice.
That's from Sanix. Yeah, Sanix.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of what they call their legendary models, which they do that with. I know there's an Iron Man with Tony Stark, and they all do them all, so they stand back to back, and you can spin them.
Oh, that's cool.
I've not painted the Miles Morales Spider-Man, so you want to have a look, see whether the lines for the webbing are inverted or sticky outy.
Yeah, sticky outy.
Right, they are a pain in the backside because you've got 3 edges to them.
Yeah.
I've tried doing it where I do it black first and then infill the red. And I've tried doing it where I paint it red and do the black lines. There is no easy answer. Each way is awkward.
I did for Star Wars Shadowpoint. I did Darth Maul, his face, and that was tricky. That was really, really tricky. But it's not perfect. But I like the finished piece. So
I did Darth Maul standing with his 2 lightsabers, and I know a lot of people don't like Green Stuff World because of their stand on things, but get some neons and use the neons for the lightsabers and for the OSL. And then under UV light, I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
Oh, it just did the whole thing.
It glows.
Yeah.
Which I've used that stuff on quite a few models, and the effect that it gives is absolutely brilliant. I know there will be other brands that make the neons, but that's the ones that I've got, so I know that they work. But obviously, you've got the Citadel Tesseract Glow, which does a similar thing if you're doing a green lightsaber.
Yep.
I use I try to use a bright color, not exactly a neon, but a bright color, and then I'll use gloss varnish just to make it shiny.
Well, this is a little tip to up your game then, Dave.
Yeah.
Use a neon over the top of whatever color you're using, and it'll just give that extra spark.
So I'll put that on my Games Expo shopping list then.
Definitely.
All right, Candy. I've just noticed we've gone past the hour. We've got 1 hour to go.
That was the other thing as well, wasn't it? The paint set, the paint set that Craig picked up. I don't remember what it's called now.
Oh, the amp from Monument Hobbies, the
That's
Pro
the one.
Thrill.
Yeah.
I've got a set of them. I won't waste them on crap models though.
Yeah, so they had just released that their atomic mass paint set. So it's two volumes, so it ends up I think 18 paints in total.
Yeah.
What's your favourite paint of all time, then, everyone?
For me,
If you could
I'm
only
going to
have
be
one
biased.
set,
For me, I'm still biased at speed paints from Army Painter because my minis never looked so good before.
I've not used the Army Painter speed paints. I have used the Citadel contrasts, but I only use them as a shade.
Okay.
But I'm not like you guys. I'm not painting a model because it needs to be on a table or anything.
Yeah.
I'm painting it just because I'm painting it. So I don't need the speed that they give you. But as a wash, they are fantastic. I think Richard uses the speed paints, don't he? And he loves them.
Mm-hmm.
I do
A
enjoy
lot
them.
for an
They
airbrush.
really do much. Yeah.
I have a full range. I have the full set of Pro Acryl.
I've got the faux core set. I've not bought any of the add-ons yet.
Yeah.
But what I do like about the Pro Acryl ones, with Warhammer, if you bought like a Fanatic, the Wargamer set or whatever, then if you decide that you want to buy a green set or a red set, half the stuff that's in that set you've already got from the core set. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
Pro Acryl, if you buy an add-on set, none of the colours in that are in the core set. So it makes it a lot more worthwhile.
Yep. The you cannot beat their bold titanium white.
I knew he was going to say that. That's what I keep getting told, but I've not tried it myself yet. Most of the stuff I've been painting since I bought them I think it was just before Christmas, is stuff for other people. And I don't want to use those paints on stuff that I know is going to be chucked in a box somewhere. I want to use them on something that's worth what they are.
Yeah.
But I've got nothing planned that's going to be white at the moment.
I've tried a little bit of the Army Painter Fanatics, and I like those. That'll probably
I
be
love the
next.
ones that I've used, but I bought the middle set, not the small one or not the full set, but the one in between. And the skin colours in it don't correspond to what they say that they are.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, whereas the one I'm looking at right now is barbarian flesh that looks like a pinky tanned flesh, but when you
Yep.
put it on, it's not. I'm trying to find it now. Yeah, onyx skin, which is supposed to be a brown skin colour, isn't. It's more like what's it called? Is it that one? Yeah, Gorefall brown from Citadel.
Okay.
So they don't quite do what you want them to do. And I found that quite hard. Whereas Duncan Rose, their flesh tone range is quite extensive.
Mm-hmm.
But I do tend, because I've got a recipe kind of thing that I use for my skins, has been derived from the Citadel range, and I've been able to match it through the Duncan Rose, but not through the Army Painters.
Oh, okay.
I've actually got quite an extensive set of skin colours from Vallejo as well, and I don't use them because they're either too orange or too pink.
So are you using Duncan's paints more than anything else right now?
At the minute, because I'm doing the metal models, I'm using all the Citadels because they are a thicker paint, so they do last a little bit longer on the metal. Plus, I want to use them up and get rid of them so that I utilise my other paints more. Because I also got given this, which I've not even cracked open one bottle yet.
Oh wow,
Oh, okay.
68. Blimey, that must have been expensive.
I don't know. I didn't pay for it.
Oh right, is that the competition?
No, step that you'll meet at the expo. I did basically all of their Christmas presents were painted models. So I painted them. They paid me to do them, but they thought I deserved an extra treat, so they bought me them as well. But I think they're somewhere around 200 quid.
Wow.
So I've probably got
Dave,
more paint here than all of you put together.
Yeah. Dave, do you know of any other badges that are coming this year to
Gen Con or to Games
Gen
Expo?
Con? To Gen Con?
No, other than Josh and Lauren. I think that is it from UK badges.
Okay, so I met them the last time they were here.
Yeah, you don't need to meet them again. You met them, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh shit! Do you go to many conventions over there then, Craig?
I try to do 3 to 4 a year.
Are there any that's more local for you that you can get to more easily?
I have Origins, which is right here in Columbus, Ohio.
All right.
Then I'll go down to, or I'll go over. Used to go over to Pittsburgh quite a bit to a couple of the comic conventions that were going on. This year was my first time to go to Adepticon, which will be a regular visit from now on.
Whenever I hear that mentioned, I always think Transformers.
Yeah.
Adepticon.
Gen Con. So yeah, I try to go and support. That doesn't always work, but like this year, I'm not going to go to Origins, even though it's right here, and that's usually 3 to 4 weeks right before Gen Con. And it's a smaller version. It used to be bigger, and it's just it's mismanaged, unfortunately.
To the point of making it not enjoyable.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Can't tell if Steve's sighing or breathing or he's gone to sleep.
I'm trying to hold my breath while I paint around the teeth.
He's thinking about talking and asking questions, but I ain't shut up yet. Have I? How are you getting on with your painting, Steve?
It's going okay. I've done the mouth.
If in the last hour and 15 minutes you've only done the mouth, I think they're going to take you a while.
I'm thinking about teeth, where I have to layer up loads of shades of brown. I don't know why I have such a fixation over painting teeth, but I do.
Let's have a. Can we get a? Oh, you've got RoboCop on. I was going to say let's have a sneak peek.
Yeah.
The head is separate, isn't it?
Yeah, it
You've
is
got the head on
separate. Yeah.
stick.
Right, hang on. Let's focus my camera.
Fucking really scarier than Slimer.
Let's me mouse. Hang on. Let's wake my mouse up.
What colour are you going to do the hair?
Purple and blue.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
start with purple and then
Blend it
Fade
up
up.
through.
So yeah.
That's sweet, mate. I like the way you
Come
just
on,
jumped
focus,
them.
bastard.
Oh, look at
There
that.
you go.
Nice.
So the mouth's done. Let's do the face now.
You can have him
Are
as
you
a.
using
I
ink?
don't like that. No, it's the green. It's separated out horribly. So I'll have to go.
Have him
over
as
it
a.
some
Have him as
soon.
an Eberron steampunk walk.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
look at the backpacks and things that are on them, they are quite steampunky.
Yeah. It's
Are you doing the Octo one as well, or just the Hulkbusters?
I will get round to doing the car as well. I've got the car. I've got the 4 or 5 orcs. I can't remember how many there are now.
Did
Five.
you buy that on order or did you buy that when you came to the barbecue?
No, I bought that on order.
Ah.
So there's the tanks, like repurposed fire extinguisher and a propane tank. It's got dents and cuts in it and stuff. Really
That's cool.
detailed.
Yeah, they're quite ball ache to do,
I
especially when you're
bet.
doing 5 sets.
Yeah. Because you wanna make a good job of it, which is why I'm spending so long like layering up the colours.
Brush.
Which I don't
On
mind.
one of them, I did it in like a copper boiler tank, and then put oxidization all over it, and it worked a treat.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
I've got some of the rust effect Vallejo stuff and the oil stain as well, so I might give that a try on some of the
If you got the
overalls.
Vallejo effects, don't put any rust on a copper tank. Copper doesn't rust. You want the verdigris.
Verdigris, yeah.
How's yours going, Dave?
I'm layering up an eyeball at the moment because these Nothics have one giant eye. I've got the artwork open on the other screen, so I'm just trying to see if I can do something that resembles the color. It doesn't resemble it in detail, but I'll keep trying.
Can't see it.
No, I haven't put it on there yet. I'm trying to view it so I can see it, but it's there you go. You'll have to push the buttons, Dave.
Well, nice. Yeah.
So they are spiky, fleshy creatures
Yeah, quite freaky.
with their bone protrusions, and they have this giant bulbous eye. And I've done different. You can kind of see it. There's different shades of green. So there's a bit of like a white eyeball and then a green miasma. There's two different. There's a dark green and a light green.
Yeah, I can see the split between the two. You shaded well.
Yeah, and then I need to do the like a black pupil in the middle if I can. That's my next bit. But it's tiny. It's tiny.
Yeah. I think the smallest ones I've painted, I think they were 8mm.
Oh,
They were little
wow.
companions to 28mm scale. One of them was a moon phase, one of them was a kobold, and one of them was this weird little gremlin thing.
Did you do that like with normal eyes, or did you do what Steve's got, like the RoboCop?
Babe, I can't see you with normal eyes. I have 3 different strength reading glasses. I think the strongest ones I've got here are 3.5 times mag. And even for them, I had to get the ones out like what Steve's wearing now.
Yeah.
Yep. I've got those as well.
I've got mine here. I don't know if they're charged. Absolutely.
Right back into this a little bit.
They are charged. I said I knew that earlier. Go on then, Craig. Your turn.
My turn. All right, give me 1 second here. What do I got? Basically, just working a lot of the bone color right now, trying to get the basing done on the bone.
Let's go. Yeah, that's awesome.
Me like it.
What's the model from?
That is from.
Who's it from?
I don't think that's Star Wars.
No, not Star Wars.
Don't tell Steve. Spoilers.
Bloodfield's Undead Domain came from Titan Forge, basically. I bought that at Adepticon because I saw this mini, and it was like, yeah, I want to paint that. Do you sell it separately? No, we don't. So I bought this set and got it home. Started and clean up, and of course it's small scale.
Yeah.
And it was the flashing and everything from it, the molding of it was horrendous. So I started looking on my mini factory, and because Titan Forge has a store, and I did find it. So I bought it. I bought the set again, basically as STL files, and printed it out. So, and I upsized it.
Cool.
Hold up.
Let's see, I got about a half hour. I'll let that sit.
What about you, Dibs? How far you got? What are you painting?
You wouldn't know any difference that I've made to anything that I've done, right? Little Red Riding Hood.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But because of the lighting in here, it's awkward for you to see any detail. Because I'm doing so many of them. You can't really see anything. Because obviously my lighting in here is set up to paint, because people don't normally have me on stream. But I've definitely made progress.
It's probably your taste in t-shirts. Is what it is.
Yeah. Why do people not like Timberland?
Well, you know, Debs, you can come on Saturday anytime you want.
Well,
it's always an open invitation.
You keep saying that, but Saturdays are normally a day when I am out here in the evening, because normally my wife's cousin comes down and they watch TV together. But I have to beat them all at 1% Club first. But this weekend, she's actually going to see my daughter in York. So I'm home alone all weekend.
Well, we're painting.
But if you're painting, if
I'll
I'm
send you a message.
alive, just let me know.
Yep.
But remember, I swear and I smoke.
Okay.
But I do try to smoke off screen. Because I know it's a trigger for a lot of people. But you know, before I had cancer, everyone always used to say to me, "Oh, you shouldn't smoke, you'll get cancer." You know, since I've had it, nobody has ever said it to me. It's quite annoying, because I'm waiting for someone to say it so I can say too late.
Too late. Let's see. Cards. 2 baits.
Do you know any badges that come into Expo then, Dave and Steve? I know Gary's coming down.
Gary's coming. We've got Richard and Ian.
I know Richard's coming. He's fucking staying with me.
Yeah, there you go.
Is Ross going, do you know?
Ross is going. He always goes up.
He's coming up with a few of Dragonborn crew. So I find a lot.
Yeah. There should be a nice big crowd of people that we know.
I'm trying to think who was there last year. Was it Alan and that dressed up as a Ghostbusters?
Was it Alan a Ghostbuster? We got Australian Alan, who's never lost his accent.
No, this is English Alan that looks like Penfold.
Oh, bloody hell, who's that?
He was dressed as a Ghostbuster. I can't remember who the other lads were called. There's a picture of me being molested by them.
No, I don't know. There's a we promote it as much as we can because we love going, but it's always the there's a lot of new badges as well because we do the new Haven events, and we've got a load of badges recruited through that. I think Ted's going. Jake's not going. Ted will be taking a few people.
Right.
So there should be a nice like, at least 20 of us who kind of know.
I met a few of you last year. The only ones I remember is you and Steve.
Yeah.
Gary, because I spent a bit of time with Gary.
Yeah, Gary's lovely.
I've been on with him the last year on other things, taking the piss out of him.
Yeah.
I now call him Twiglet.
I don't know if Matt's going. Tobey and Eric are going. There's Greg from Turbo Dork. So we'll have to, we'll have him to hang out with. Steve Jackson we can hang out with as well.
He seemed quite tired and quiet last year.
Yeah, I wondered if it was. I mean, he's an old fella as well, but I wondered if it was like the jet lag kicking in, that kind of thing.
Or it was us.
It
He was
could have
worried
been.
about Jake sat over there staring at him.
Ian Livingstone will be there. The British Steve Jackson will be there.
Steve Jackson. I know that name.
Yeah. Steve Jackson and Ian
Because-
Livingstone fighting fantasy books. Death Trap Dungeon.
Yeah, that's it. Because
Yep.
Jake was asking which of the Steve Jacksons is coming. And although he
Yes.
would like to have met the Steve Jackson, the English one, is the one that we met that he wanted.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's coming this year or not.
Dragon Meet at Christmas, it was both Ian Livingstone and Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone, the British ones. And this year at Dragon Meet, so December this year in Dragon Meet is moving from Hammersmith Hotel to London Excel Centre. So Dragon Meet has suddenly gone from small to boom to pretty big. So that might be one. If you fancy doing like Christmas shopping, Dragon Meet could be a good one this year.
Buy my own Christmas presents.
Yeah, it's a good one anyway, but it's always one day. I don't know if they're going to do 2 days because if they're at London Excel.
I've heard of it. I think somebody asked me last year if I was going, but because we did the Comic-Con in Liverpool in November, I couldn't afford to.
Yep.
Have they changed promoters to go to a bigger venue?
I don't know. Is a quick answer because it's their own event. It's an independent event.
Yeah.
I think they've just kind of outgrown.
Okay.
And because of the types of people who are going there, kind of want more. They want to be able to put on
Right.
Q&As and stuff on screen and stuff on stage, and they just don't have the space. And then to showcase the shopping area and the publishers and the creators, again, they've run out of space.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. But but then with the current kind of world climate of computer board game tariffs, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, Simon Games is in a terrible condition. Cephalofair Fair are holding their own at the moment. Rose Gauntlet, that we know, they are trying to not pass on any costs, but if it continues, it's going to massively affect. Especially the problem is that there's a massive rise. Ignore COVID, we're still on a massive rise for. We had RPGs. I think RPGs hit a pinnacle, but wargaming, skirmish gaming, tabletop gaming, that is as a massive rise at the moment, especially Warhammer. And games like Shatterpoint and Marvel and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of quicker games are all on a rise. But with Simon Games, who are making Zombicide, we had Marvel Zombicide. This year we got DC Comics Deceased Zombicide. They're struggling.
Yeah,
They really are struggling.
Yep.
I know in the Warhammer community, since COVID and everything, the community has grown rapid. And there's a lot more people that got back into it. Have you found that with D&D as well?
D&D, yes. D&D, because we run events. So Band of Badgers was originally, and is still originally, a social club. So we found people who want to join because, one, to meet people, but also to learn how to play the game. So we've been taken on our Haven
Hang on,
event.
is that a dig?
What?
No.
Who
People that
want
want to
who
learn.
want to learn?
Is that why I'm not? Is that why I'm not an official badger?
People who want to learn. You're a painting badger.
Oh, I'll do that.
You're a pro painter. People who want to learn, they'll come along and meet new people and play games, and that's it. You know, they'll go off and make their own games or whatever. And then we have the barbecue and we have everything else that we do. We're going to do a hog roast this year, plus an epic.
Yeah,
So we've got a
I
summertime
do want to
epic.
get to one of them at some point.
Yeah, the epic is going to take some planning. Everyone really wants to do it, and that should be quite fun. I think if we were better organised, we could do an epic at Games Expo. That's what I think that's what I'd like to do. But yeah, D&D and role playing games are still, the players are still there. Yeah, I got a new one. I got a new one the other day. I got this one. This is Free League, who we also do work with, but he's outgunned. And this is
I've seen someone of that. Did they do a Kickstarter?
Yeah.
I had an email about it a while back. I've done a few
nice little book.
Kickstarters, but I normally go for something that gets STLs for Richard to use on at Warrior Prince 3D.
Instagram,
or you can find him Warrior Prince 3D on Etsy or Facebook. Etsy. But if you really want a good deal, Instagram message him, because then he won't have to pay the Etsy fees.
He's got you working, hasn't he? He's got you brainwashed with the whole slogans there. He keeps reminding me, tell them to look at Etsy, message me directly. I'm like, look, I'm just giving out the links. We have when we do Haven, we've got the lunch menu, and it says Warrior Prince. Warrior Prince.
Has he got his own sandwich?
Here. Yeah.
I think I promote Richard more than I promote myself.
Well, he's a lovely guy to have around, but also when we do the in-person events, we started just like I said when I first met Richard, you know, you've got to come to our events. Just bring a pop-up table and see what happens. When we do the barbecue, people love him. They're like, wow, look at this stuff. Because it's not just D&D. I mean, we've got Mario, we've got Pokemon and everything else. So he brings along a selection of items. And it's like, and we keep saying to people, if you see it here, but I buy it, then he can print another one. You're not limited by it. You just have to wait a bit longer. But people that buy busts and the computer game stuff and yeah.
Well, my entire garage and half of my wife's wool shop is testament to what he can print. But I really should promote myself because. Hang on. Yep. You seen these?
Well, this is your case.
It's actually a diorama side table.
Yeah.
So the table comes like that with that box built into it, and then I build the diorama into it.
Cool.
But I ain't got the platform to sell them, so we're still stuck there.
Just do a
I'm doing the palm reading for me.
Games Expo. Check it. Like, we need a couple of tables at Games Expo and self-promote there. Take something along.
Richard
do commissions.
Was going to have one there, but the price for the tables out there is absolutely mental.
Yeah, it's expensive.
But they're going to have their biggest haul this year than they've ever had, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they haven't got Hall 1 this year, have they? They're doing 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, total floor space is larger than they've ever had and is actually larger than Gen Con this year.
Yes, that's how big it is.
So how many people do they expect attendance? What's their estimated? Do they know?
I don't think, because I mean, what Richard was saying when we did the interview is that every year they've outgrown their expectations, and they've got to the point where it's like they're not even trying to guess a number; it's just going up and up every year. Like last year on the Saturday, it was
mental.
20,000.
Yeah, it's 25,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Saturday at Gen Con, you guys should expect about 70,000 people.
Yep.
It's freaking nuts. Which is why I'll be heading back to Ohio. And it's really neat when you guys go and you take the tunnel, and you'll walk out of the convention center, basically go under and then come up into Lucas Oil Stadium where the Colts play.
Right.
And then you're walking in and you're at like ground level, and then you're looking down onto the field.
Huh.
And then it's all just like last year was just like an overflow of where you could just go to have open gaming to play.
Right.
Yeah. What is there to do in the evening? Is there events and shows and all that kind of stuff, or is that all on during the day?
A lot of companies will have things going on at the bar, different bars, or so different events, things like that will be happening. A lot of people get together and play. By the time that all has rolled around, my back has told me I've had enough. Go back to the hotel, crash. Or my other friends that have gone with me from over the years have drugged me off somewhere else. And that was before I was painting and trying to promote myself. So,
is there any good restaurants or food places?
Is there somewhere you can get a custard cream?
You know that I'm going to really struggle with that because apparently they don't have them in the US, and I can't take food on the plane or to the airport, whatever.
Post it.
No, I don't know.
Norse Paints. When Norse came over, Kenny, he fell in love with Monster Munch. So he posted himself a box full of Monster Munch and Yorkshire tea back home, so it was there ready for when he got home. He lives in Norway, hence being called Norse.
Yeah.
Okay, 9 and 6. Okay, that's 6. I can tell this kit is an older Atomic Mass Games kit from how the sprue is and the connection points.
We are 15 minutes to the end. That gives us 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes.
10.
And then we'll go around and see who's done the best painting to win the coveted gold star.
We're doing a gold star on a hangout.
We're doing a gold star.
See, if I
Nah.
knew it was going to be that kind of
Fine.
hangout, I would have painted something singular rather than doing all these.
That's all right. I got no chance of winning, but I'm doing it anyway. Paint what you want.
Can I just show you one of my other models instead and get that scored?
Start this one, pull one out like the cooking shows.
Oh, there'll be Blue Peter. Here's one I did
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, that was our show growing up, Craig. The Blue Peter. That was a cat. Here's one I did earlier.
That's mine. There you go.
Your dwarf's got bigger.
All right, I'll go for a mini then, shall I? There's Space Bob.
That's cool.
I can't even say there's one that I've done more than the other. Not that will show up on my camera anyway. So are you playing D&D at the expo then, Dave? And Steve?
We haven't picked anything yet. We need to. That was something we were going to do tonight, Steve. We
Yeah,
said we were going
yeah.
to come on at 8 to do that.
Yeah.
We didn't. We need to.
Have the events gone on sale?
So you can promote your own table if you want to and sell tickets. So you'll get a load of people who are doing that, and then you'll be in the hotel rooms, the hotel conference rooms. But the big tournaments is what I'm after, and some of the late night games are going on, and those ones are usually pretty good. During the day, you might get a tournament going on in the middle of the afternoon, and they last between 2 and 3 hours.
Yeah, you played a daytime one last year, didn't you?
Yeah, that was
on
Dragonbane.
Saturday.
And that was really good. We played the Dragonbane. We lost. Thank you, Dibs. We lost, but we came fifth. It's good. Out of what 20, we came fifth.
Well, that's not that bad then.
Yeah, but every table had a set of printout maps. Every table would have a DM, and it was a sinking tower. So the idea is you keep going up because the ground is filling up with water. So you have to solve the puzzle in the room. If you fail to solve it, it becomes a fight, and all the time water is coming in. So you have to keep going up to the top of the tower. You get to the top of the tower, there's a dragon. Fight the dragon, and you're free to go. You've succeeded. So we did that, but we didn't get enough points. So you have to search the room and find treasures and do kind of different things, and that equates to points. But then, because I knew the guys, it was Dave Seamark and Matthew Tyler Jones from Free League, Alien Dave. I said to him, "Can I have a copy of the maps?" So Matt said, "Well, come back tomorrow, and I'll have them for you." So we went back there. We went back there with Australian Alan from Type 40, and we was in there talking to him and his missus, and yeah, they left us a set of maps. So I've got the Dragonbane maps here that we can then play at Badges events, and we can do
Does that give you an unfair advantage if you play the same game this year, though?
No, they'll change the game. It might be Dragonbane, but it will be a different one shot, different event.
Different set of maps.
Yeah.
Right. So, do you think that between you, Steve, and Richard, you could teach me how to play quick enough to join your team in a match?
For D&D?
Yep.
You can do a one shot, yeah. Remember, it's not a match, it's not competitive.
You know what I mean? A game.
Yeah.
In semantics. So, as a complete noob, what race and discipline would you suggest?
Human, elf, or dwarf. Think Lord of the Rings and base your character on that. And then just
I
have
actually
fun.
wrote a character about a year ago, but Richard said that I'm not allowed to use it. It was half dwarf, half Goliath barbarian who had teachings of every single discipline known to mankind. So
That's probably
basically,
why.
he won D&D before I even started playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said that I'm not allowed to play that character.
You would definitely get thrown off a table if they didn't know who you.
So I can't use him then.
You can use them on my table. Again,
As the
it
bad
comes
guy.
down to the dice. I don't decide whether your character lives or dies. It's your decision and your dice rolls.
Well, I've been watching Crit Roll whilst I paint, and I've noticed from that even the best of characters can fuck up immensely just by the roll of one dice.
Yeah, that's the fun of the game.
Normally it's Sam.
When you're in a situation, so every combat situation or puzzle is a scenario, just like a scene in a film. And you have to think about, what is my character going to do? Okay, they're going to jump on a table, they're going to swing from the chandelier, pull out their sword, and as they land on the table, they're going to skin on the pig's head, and their sword is going to go up to the king's throat, and are going to save the kingdom.
Hang on. Want that on Steve's OnlyFans page?
Yeah. And then you roll your dice
When I buy some.
when you buy some. And the dice will say yes, or the dice will say no. And then, if the dice say no, I ask you to tell me what happens instead. So all your best laid plans go right out the window, but you decide what goes wrong. You decide what you do to yourself, not me. What do you think is appropriate punishment?
Yes, one thing that I saw, which I actually quite like the explanation of, was the definition of a nat 20. That it's not meaning that you've got the best thing and that you're going to get the outcome exactly as you want it. It's basically the best scenario that you could do in that scenario.
Yeah.
So it's not even like just because you've rolled a nat 20 doesn't mean that you're going to win that conflict. It's just that whatever ability you're trying to use will be used in the best way at that point.
Yeah. When we do our Haven games, I ask the players, what do you want to do? It doesn't matter how big or small. It's the dice that determine it. So be cinematic. Be what you want it to be. Right, we got 1 minute. 1 minute. I'm just looking at the messages. Ian popped in. I think he's popped out again, but Ian popped in. Said hi. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I've done the eyeball. Let's just quickly see what I do.
I've done this, but it's been worn off. There's another thing when you asked about painting metal models earlier, Steve.
Yeah.
I actually varnished this earlier on today, and because I've been handling it again, even through the varnish, I've took back all the layers of paint and the varnish and the primer.
Wow.
It's extremely frustrating. I think that's why my mate Graham gets me to paint them and not himself. I thought he didn't paint at all, but he paints Warhammer plastic models, but he won't touch these.
Right, it is brushing down. No. Words, whatever they are. Brushes down. There we go. Right. we're gonna. What's Steve's doing? Steve's I was gonna say ironing. Steve's got his hairdryer on. Right. Steve's now taking his headphones off, which means he can't hear me.
Right, back, sorry.
There he is. All right, Steve, you're first up. Let's have a look.
Right, and wake the mouse up again. Get the camera up.
So you spent 2 hours painting a head.
I did spend 2 hours painting a head.
Okay.
There is the head. No,
It is pretty good,
in
though.
2
I like the
hours.
bottom teeth.
It's cool, mate.
Yep.
So
Loving
I
the hair.
like the hair.
Are you jealous of the hair, Steve?
I am jealous of the hair, yeah. And I'm just layering the face up now, so that'll be the end of it when I'm done. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. It looks good. Looks good.
Cool. That looks
I
good.
mean, the rest of the model won't take me this long, hopefully, because it's
Mhm.
mostly going to be grey. But
Yeah.
I've enjoyed painting that, even though it's taken me
Yeah.
2 hours to paint the face. I've had a relaxing time doing that.
Well, I
The-
painted
the
a
stick
Power
you're
Ranger head
holding-
for somebody over in the States, and that took me 4 hours.
Right.
Wow. Is that the stick that plugs into the Mini?
No,
No.
that's a bit of a sprue that I put some blue
Oh,
tack on.
you made your own holder.
I made my own handle. Yeah, there's the neck. It just glues onto the. Go that way. There we go. It just glues onto the neck.
Right.
They fit together lovely as well.
All right. Dibs. Let's take a look.
Oh, I don't know what to show you.
A rubber glove up me. Ugh.
So I can't even get the lighting right to show you anything. You can't even see the green on the bottles, can you?
No, you're losing it in the shadow. Yep.
Let's try him then. No.
Yep.
No, you need to light it from the other side.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Nice.
I say I've just done bits and bobs of 11 different models, so it doesn't look like I've done anything. So I'll take the hit. If you have me
Craig?
again, I'll paint something separate.
Craig has done a mishmash of stuff tonight. Did some of the bone work on the skeleton. Trying to get it to a point.
Yeah.
It is pretty evil looking.
Yeah. And then I did the mud work on this base.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to glue together the Green Goblin.
Cool.
Ah, cool.
Nicely done.
That's where I've been.
Is that flyer with the model on the Green Goblin?
Yes, he's on his flyer. So, this is that's the one.
Yeah, cool.
So,
Nice. I got that. Look, I'm getting it ready. From next week. That's the next project. It's gonna take some time.
Go off.
Gonna take some time. What am I doing? Here you go. You push the buttons. So this is my little batch paint. I don't know how these are going to come out on
those
here.
are tiny.
Yep.
Well, that's good.
And then
Yeah.
what I've done is
Mutated hedgehogs.
there's the eye, and then I put that gloss varnish over it to give it some shine. So there's two color greens, the white and the black, to try to give it a pupil. The pupil is actually inset in the mini.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I quite like the effect, actually. It's come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it works.
It's quite
It's
nice.
got like a marble type aesthetic going on, hasn't it? Because you
Yeah.
put the gloss varnish over it as well.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
Very good. Very good. Did you use speed paints?
No, I actually used the these ones. These are the D&D.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So they're made by Vallejo.
Yeah.
But they are manufactured by Vallejo, but they are packaged for WizKids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few of them somewhere.
Oh, those are the little bottles?
Yeah.
The little ones. So yeah, I use that. Yeah, there's quite a few. So there we go. Right, who is going to get the gold star? Who's going to vote for who? Who votes for
So
who?
I'm voting for Steve.
One for Steve.
I'm going to go with Dave tonight. I like the Nothic.
One for
I
Dave?
like the eye work.
I'm torn now. Do I vote tactically or not?
Tactically,
Just vote for yourself.
there is tactically, really.
I'm going to vote for Dave as well because I like your eyes. You've done that quite nicely.
Oh, you like his
You
eyes?
like my eyes.
It's you that's turned in Dave.
I was going to vote for Steve, but then that kind of.
Oh, so you are voting tactically.
No, I can't say you like my eyes and then say that I like your head. You can't do that.
As long as you're not
It's
asking
getting
for
awkward
head.
in here.
And we're gonna end it there. But I'm gonna take the win. I think so. I'm gonna go in the coveted gold star with the amazing graphics.
I think I got conned here. I wasn't told to do something separate. So I've made progress on 11 models. All Steve's done is a head.
You got to build the strats in at the start, Tibbs. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, I know for next time now. So you're not going to invite me, are you?
No, you're not coming back anymore.
Yeah, I'll remember.
We can leave it there, folks. Again, any questions for any of our pro painters, which is Dibs and Craig, thank you both for joining us. This is just a hangout. We will be back to our regular programming next week with Marvel Crisis Protocol. But if you have any questions, do let us know in the comments below. And until next time, ta-ra.
Dave.